Hey guys, welcome to Oddcast. I'm Joe, and Andor, the season finale of Season 1, is right around the corner. Season 2 has just started filming, but I wanted to discuss my favorite character, Luthen. So, let's talk about it. Alright, so Luthen is my favorite character because he seems to be the one pulling all the parts. Dark, mysterious past, you can't really make out what he's going to do next. He's willing to burn an entire crew of guys. He always seems so calculated and cold. However, I think there's more to him than what meets the eye. That's right. There's a theory that I've got that he has the Force. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I'm not 100% sold on the idea that Luthen has the Force. However, I do think that he is linked to, at the very least, a Force user. Now, Rogue One did this great job of having a person who was one with the Force. The Force was with him.
The Force is with me, and I am with the Force. And I fear nothing, for all this, as the Force wills it.
But wasn't a Jedi, or was he? Kind of left up in the air. Because he did a lot of crazy stuff. Could be linked to somebody who's a Force user. However, as we know, you don't have to be a Sith or a Jedi to use the Force. Now, what makes me think that Luthen is a Force user or tied to the Force? Well, who the hell carries around a kyber crystal for no reason? Especially one that's just the right size to dangle around your neck and potentially fit into a lightsaber.
Take this.
What is it?
It's a down payment. It's a Quati signet. Blue Kyber, Skystone, the ancient world. It celebrates the uprising against the Rakatan invaders.
Now, I'm not saying that that is what that kyber crystal is for. Originally, I was like, oh, kind of a cool sign like he was from one of the planets that got harvested out, or maybe there's something else there. I wasn't sure. However, then in episode 11, they dropped this.
What's all this? Good to know. Put it down or give it back.
Now, I could be wrong. I could be way off base. But that is a lightsaber. And he almost pulled a Gandalf.
Your staff.
Oh. You would not part an old man from his walking stick.
I mean, you wouldn't deny an old man, right? But what if it's not him? So let's first paint the picture. He has a lightsaber and a kyber crystal, but he doesn't use it because he's in hiding. He does have heightened senses, and he seems to read rooms a little bit to the sense of there's something extraordinary at work there. Now, we did see in Tales of the Jedi, with Jedi like Dooku, that there is a certain sense of maybe we're doing the wrong thing. And they can be shifted not necessarily all the way to the dark side like Dooku and Anakin, but maybe somewhere center, like Ahsoka, who is, of course, a gray Jedi, essentially, by the time it's over. Somebody who has seen how the Jedi Order worked, but has been disillusioned as to what it was. So maybe Luthen is one of those people who came to that conclusion before it happened. Maybe Luthen used to be a Jedi, and then stepped away, decided it wasn't for him, and faded into obscurity, forgotten about by all, before the Chancellor arrived. He also has deep ties on Coruscant, so that would also lend to somebody who is maybe already there, maybe participating in some politics. Light politics, because the Jedi Council also is on Coruscant. And the Jedi Temple, also on Coruscant. And the place where you train Padawans, also on Coruscant. So I feel like there's a little bit something extra going on there. But what if it's not the obvious answer? What if he carries a lightsaber and a kyber crystal because of something that he lost? Maybe he fell in love with a Jedi, and that Jedi was killed during Order 66. It gives him a personal vendetta and investment. If it wasn't somebody that he fell in love with, at least somebody that he loves. Maybe the lightsaber has a kyber crystal and it's his, but the kyber crystal that he wears, that means more to him than anything else.
Don't take less than 50,000 for it. Just know it will always be worth more to me. I want it back when this is over.
Belonged to his Padawan that he lost during Order 66, or perhaps a dear friend. He definitely has this cryptic undertone of, I've lost so much to this empire, and I want to take it back. But he's not afraid, or at least he's not afraid anymore. That's turned to anger, and well, we all know where anger leads. So, what's Luthen's deal? We don't know, and we'll have to continue to watch to find out, but it's crazy to me that they set up this character with all these deep details, but you don't know anything about his past. Unless they plan on doing something more with that past. Which leads me to an even bigger question. Does Star Wars not believe that it can get away without any of the Force in one of their programs? After all, in everything that we've seen from Star Wars, there has been at least a little bit of a Force user in it. Or a suspected Force user. Like, is it that they just fear that they can't do a story in the Star Wars universe that doesn't have the Jedi, the Sith, or some other Force user in it? After all, I mean, you can't name a single program that they've done that doesn't have somebody who at least smells of the Force. Rogue One is the closest that we came, and now Andor seems like it wasn't, but now they're dropping these subtle hints that Luthen has the Force. And you could say, the Bad Batch doesn't have a Force user. If you don't think that Omega has the Force in her, you're dumb. That's it. You're dumb. She's a Force user, buddy. She's the first one of midichlorians. That's what makes her so valuable to the cloners. But that is a topic for another time. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Luthen is a Sith because he's doing some dark stuff? Do you think that he's a Jedi who's lost his way and perhaps became gray? Do you think that he's a scorned lover? I want to know in the comments. I am actually leaning more towards, I think he lost his Padawan, and that is what has angered him. He's a survivor that's presumed to be dead, but is not as dead as what others think he is, which is why he's hiding in plain sight on Coruscant and, darting around. Who's going to suspect a simple, humble shopkeep? I am but a fisherman, blessed with many friends. Of being anything other than what he claims to be. Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there, hit that like, subscribe, and little bell for notifications so that we can discuss Andor Season 1 as soon as it is done. Thanks for joining. This has been Oddcast. This is Joe. Stay safe out there and have a great one.